Hi, this is Marina from Dark Star Astrology, bringing you the Capricorn 2020 horoscope. So these are highlights from the ebook that you can find on my website. So let's just start with your keywords. Now you have out of the woods, intense soul growth, mining for gold, mending sibling bonds, slaying vampires, life-changing events, out of the blue love, massive awakening, detoxing and purging, friends, cull, new adventure, home renovations, and cutting karmic cords. So Capricorn, as you must know by now, it's been all about you. It's all been about Capricorn, with both Pluto and Saturn being in your sign for the last 2 years. But 2020 is extra special since big boy Jupiter joins the party, and Ceres will also be there for part of the year. Now, the biggest day for you will be on January the 11th, where there'll be a humongous stellium of Sun, Mercury, Ceres, Saturn and Pluto all around 20 to 22 degrees of Capricorn. So if your Sun or Ascendant is at those degrees, then this is a life-changing moment for you. You could have an earth-shattering awakening on this actual day. Jupiter is also conjunct the South Node at 9 degrees Capricorn, so that gives your sign even more weight. It is hard to predict what this concentration of energy in Capricorn will do, but whatever occurs, I want to draw your attention to it, as it's pretty special and shouldn't be too scary. Needless to say, it should be a year that you'll never forget. You might make big changes to your physical appearance or totally change your diet. Your body will go through an evolution, much like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. Saturn conjunct Pluto has been making your life quite intense, to say the least, for a while now, but this year it comes to the peak of its energy. This is about detoxing your life from people or places that you feel you are in bondage to. The time has come for you to sever those karmic ties once and for all. This purging energy has been brewing for a long while, and you have already done a great job of ridding yourself of most of the surrounding weeds. So there is still the big mother effer that you've been avoiding, hoping it will go away by itself without its minions. It just won't. This is the point where you will have to slam the stake right into the demon's heart, and this will take great courage. You will have to train for it like you would any physical battle. The training may well start on January the 11th, when you realize this is not going to go away quietly. The more you ignore it, the more the resentment is building. Leaving this venom to fester is a very bad idea indeed. Jupiter conjunct Pluto will be the luckiest conjunction of the lot this year, and it will certainly help you resurrect from the dark and dingy underworld vibes of Saturn and Pluto. It may seem like you've been doing this soul growth forever, but at some point the universe and natural law gives us a break, and this is it. So let's look at the transits of Saturn, Jupiter, Ceres and Lilith. I have a special section for that on the site, but I can only give you a bit of just some highlights for this. Now, like I've said, Saturn coming to the end of its 2.5-year journey through Capricorn may have felt quite heavy at times, but now you should be feeling its more supportive and protective side. That way, they actually do say that Saturn transits, when they're looming in front of you, feel like a mountain or a barrier, but once it's behind you, it becomes a wall that you can rest against. And so it is with you, Capricorn. We mustn't forget that Saturn also loves being in Capricorn. It can work its very best here, and it's totally on your side as well. So Saturn conjunct Pluto on January the 12th works like a secret agent. It makes you shrewd and cunning. And on January the 13th, the day after, you get Ceres conjunct Pluto, and you can use these qualities to outmaneuver any crafty manipulators in your life. Jupiter will be traveling through your sign all year, as I've said, and that's just fab, isn't it? Now, at the beginning of the year, you do get the important and karmic Jupiter conjunct the South Node, and that's January the 8th. This should bring you an all-important benefactor to help release you from any binds with those toxic people. Jupiter starts a whole new 12-year cycle of growth, which can expand your business and earnings. And on January the 23rd, with the lush Venus sextile Jupiter, that financial gain also means that you can treat yourself to cabs when you could walk, or eat at finer restaurants where the food is just too irresistible. Now, with Lilith, the majority of the year, it will be in Aries, so that's in the parental zone of the 4th house. That passage may bring up your own unresolved issues from childhood. When Mars joins Lilith from June to October, old wounds come up from when possibly your parent found it hard to accept you grow into an adult and your budding sexuality. At this time, the parents may have rejected you, feeling threatened by your burgeoning power. And then I go into more detail about that, but it's just highlights. So Mars and Venus then, both of those are going to be retrograde this year. And the Venus retrograde will take place in quite a dull place for you. It's actually the house of daily work and slavery, but at least Venus here can't cause much trouble, but it can feel a little bit like Cinderella. So much of this time is spent sweeping the floor while gazing out the window, hoping to be rescued by some handsome prince. You could use this period to get fit, set times to go down to the gym and change your diet. That way you're more likely to catch the attention of a handsome prince if he does happen to walk by. Now with Mars retrograde, that's in your home sector, which makes it powerful and angular for you. Not only that, but it will trigger by square the 3 big planets in Capricorn during its journey. So this absolutely helps you tie up all the loose ends of the year. And Mars also helps chop things off as well. So it should rid you of any unwanted stragglers who are holding on and won't let go. Mars, even in retrograde, gets things done and takes brave action. It just takes a more strategic path than the usual impulsive reaction. So let's look at your decans for the year. We're looking at decans this year for the horoscopes. And so we'll start with Capricorn Decan 1, which is birthdays December the 21st to the 30th. So you get the Uranus trine, the Jupiter conjunction, hooray, and the solar eclipse opposition. So the blitz of planets in Capricorn is over for your specific decan though. So now you can just kind of enjoy the end of the Jupiter conjunction. However, you will still feel the general weight of the Capricorn stellium, but just in a more subtle, supportive way, especially if you're reading this for your ascendant. But what you need to do with this is to heal and recover from all the changes that have occurred. However, there is the excitement of an eclipse on your descendant, which is fantastic for relationships. Capricorn Decan 2, that's December 31st to the 9th of January. So you get, there's quite a lot going on here, Neptune sextile, Uranus trine, Jupiter conjunction, and the lunar eclipse in your sign as well, in your decan rather, sorry. So may I be as bold as to say that this could be one of the best years of your life. 2020 is your reward for having to deal with the most difficult squares in modern times. Yes, that Uranus square Pluto of 2015. This year you get all the juicy transits without any of the challenging ones. By the time the lunar eclipse comes your way at the end of the year, you will be in such a high you won't really care what hits you. In fact, this eclipse will just add some sizzle to everything else that's going on. The year starts with a romantic and imaginative Neptune sextile, which works like a blossoming backdrop to the luck and success of Jupiter. So, Capricorn Decan 3, just your highlights here. January the 10th is the birthdays to the 20th of January. So you get the Pluto conjunction all year, the Neptune sextile, the lunar eclipse opposition, the Saturn conjunction, and the Jupiter conjunction. So you don't need me to tell you that this is the decan where it's all happening. Still, everything that I've talked about concerning the stellium in Capricorn in the general section applies to you, but in the most powerful way. But unlike the previous year, you have Jupiter to balance things out really nicely. It's rare to get both Jupiter and Saturn in one's decan at the same time, so this is really a once in a lifetime opportunity. This means that any decan 3 go to after power, leadership and authority should go full throttle for it in 2020. So that's the end of the highlights. So come to Dark Star Astrology for the ebook. It's 5,000 words and you'll get everything that I've talked about, but from the whole of the year and in more detail, all for $3.95. That's US dollars. Okay then, all the best. Have a great 2020. Bye-bye.